Hello everyone and welcome back to my video. In today's video we're going to be ranking every LR in the game. Running why this video took so long after LR Galland's release is I was sort of waiting for the anniversary to see if they were to announce his relic, because I didn't want to, rank him if he hasn't got his relic yet. And guess what? They've still not given his relic. So now we're going to rank him. This is going to be the ranking before, I've made this video heads out, if you're seeing this in the future, before the Ultimate one, the new variant of the Ultimate one, the UR variant one, has been released. But anyway, let's get into it. Of course, at the bottom, at number 7, is unfortunately Mr. LR Galland, and that is because, A, they released him unfinished, he doesn't have a relic, but also, he just doesn't have the stats or the kit to be meta at all. Okay, so first, if we look at his kit, he's got decent crit chance, decent crit damage, standard crit resistance and crit defense for an LR, okay pierce rate. Crit chance is actually a little bit on the lower side for an LR. He's the third lowest LR in the game crit chance wise, the ones below that being of course LR Liz and Glox. Glox is a 7 skill and is not a DPS, and LR Liz is a PvE character. So if you were to talk about PvP viable characters, Galland is literally the bottom over the LRs. The only good thing about Galland is he's the 11th highest CC character in the game. That's of course if you have perfect HP defense, 6/6, all outfits max, True Icon, all that kind of stuff. He is number 11. Which is it's good, it's not bad. Stats wise, he's horrible. Kit, it just feels like it wasn't improved that much with the LR. They gave a skill that has less than 100% damage, Spike, which, yeah, it does a little bit more damage, but it's still not that good. And his ultimate, they gave it Sever, they increased the multiplier. I don't think they even increased the multiplier or the basic stat boost, they just gave it Sever, which means it doesn't hit too hard. And don't even get me started about his passive. So let's just say you're not versing the UR base Gotha, or you're not versing any Gothas with any rank ups, and you're not, and you've already killed the coerced enemy, right? That entire bottom half of the passive is completely useless because it increases damage when there's a petrified enemy. If they don't, and the only way the petrified can basically be applied by a demon is with his commandment, which is you have to use a rank up skill or a rank down skill. There's no rank down skill characters in meta, so it's only rank up skills, and that's of course Festival, the UR base Gotha. So that's immediately knocked off if there's no Gotha on the field. And the coerce, when you've killed the coerced enemy, the coerce doesn't go on to anyone else. So after you've killed the coerced enemy and you're not versing a Gotha, that's half your passive completely useless. Not only that, he isn't the tankiest character in the world. He gets vaporized quite quickly. 20% defense related stats for 3 turns is, I guess, okay. It's not a buff, which would actually help him, because he has an amplify skill, but it's just your standard. He gets the substats. There's no buff. That's it. Just plain immediately added straight at the start of the match for 3 turns. I thought it was initially going to be a buff to help him with his passive, with his it does help with his passive, but also with his amplify skill as well, which it doesn't. And which is passive, which it gives him 4% attack related stats for 4 turns, up to 5 times when a demon ally uses a skill. That's 20% attack related stats. That means his crit chance is still lower than some of the other LRs with the 20% boost. LR Margaret is around 143%. Margaret also gives herself 20% crit chance and crit damage, taking Margaret to 163%, I think, with her maxed passive. Galland still has less. And Galland's a new LR. Maybe he'll get a relic and it'll completely fix him, right? But they should have released him with a relic. This is an unfinished character they have released. LR's meant to be the final thing they get, to make him strong, and that's what they're getting, right? They didn't release him with a relic. Maybe they're thinking, we're gonna let him just be a little bit stale for a little while, people won't make him, and then all of a sudden, boom, we'll give him a relic for the new demonic beast, which is a possibility. They turn Galland into a new demonic beast character. I highly doubt it, but it's a possibility. It's Netmarble we're talking about here. But overall, he just ain't. He's not got it. His outfit, I'm not gonna lie, the best. If I was rating them purely off outfits, their LR outfit alone, Galland would be number 1 because it is the sickest one. The only thing I hope in the future for Galland is his relic suits the outfit, because later on we're going to see some of the relics don't really suit the outfits, and it sort of looks quite ugly. But anyway, of course, that is Galland at number 7. Now on to number 6. And now at number 6 we do have, unfortunately, LR Glox, who is actually quite He's quite a good character. Like, personally, I think he's quite good. He's the 5th high CC character in the game as of making this video. And his kit is a very supportive kit. It's not very DPS based, which is quite good, I guess. Onto his substats, he has 114% crit chance, which is okay. He's not a DPS. He's got a Sepa skill. That's completely fine. Defense rate stats are a little bit low, but of course his passive completely makes up for that, so there's no problems there. Skills, of course, he is a complete support character, so he has 2 debuff skills. Ultimate, once again, is a DPS ult, only for himself. Passive is full support, though, which is quite nice, apart from this, like, well, it's technically support, it lowers the enemy stats. But it gives defense-related stats when an ally is alive, per ally on the field. Every ally gets it. So if there's 3 allies, all your allies get 30% defense-related stats, which is insane. Once again, if there's 4 allies, you get 40, you know, lower. Increase allies' attack-related stats when an ally dies by 10% as well. It means, you know, if it's 4 up, 3 allies die, it's just Glox by himself now. You get 30% attack-related stat boost, which is okay. I think it means he has more crit chance than Galland, than when Galland has max passive. And then, of course, when you inflict bleed on an enemy, it lowers their crit chance and crit damage. Sorry, crit chance by 30% and crit damage by 40%. Which is okay. His commandment, once again, it's PvP only, and it's not really too big of a problem. Yeah, it can be slightly irritating in PvP when you are using him, but you're never going to be using him with a fairy team. But it's okay. He's got a relic. After awakened him, he's quite good for the new demonic beast at the moment. Of course, he could get replaced. That is, you know, something that can happen, but he's quite a good character for that. But that is really all he has, and chaos mode. So he doesn't get any higher than that because he's just chaos mode and a demonic beast character. That's really all he's got. You know, he's not really useful anywhere else, technically, because he's got really high CC. You could use him in Hero Arena, but I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think he's really that good. Unfortunately, his relic is PvP only and fairies only, which is probably like the 2 worst things you could have picked. So you've now made a relic that is PvP only, so it's not useful anywhere else, and it only works with fairies. So you've used, like, the 2 most restrictive things ever, fairies, which I think have one of the least, if not the least amount of characters in the game, race-wise, that are different named, and then you just have PvP, which is, some people aren't interested in PvP, they won't play it. It's not useful. But of course in Chaos mode it's quite useful, but that's it. Overall, he's actually got a really cool outfit as well. I want to say, it's not my favourite, but it's definitely a really cool one. Definitely not as good as Galland's. But overall, he's like a mediocre character. He's good for, of course, you know, what he's good at, but everything else, like general PvP usage, you know, if you want to use him for a backlight for CC, you can, because he's got really good CC, but that's it. Unfortunately, he could have been so much better. Of course, if you don't know, there was a leak where, like, for every ally, he gave allies, like, 30% defense-related stats. Of course, that didn't end up happening, because if it did, it would be broken. Like, 90% defense-related stats is absurd. But overall, he's not got a very restrictive passive, which is what I like. It's not just demons, fairies, it works to everyone, which is quite nice, but overall, he's not really got too much use, and I do feel like on the new demonic beast he will end up being replaced, which is the reason why I put him at number 6. Now on to number 5. Now on to number 5, we have LR Melee, who was the first LR ever to be introduced, and he was very hype. His outfit is pretty cool. His relic, in my opinion, actually suits the outfit quite nice. It's probably the weapon he has the best that suits it. Of course, it's not a weapon; it's just the holder, because the weapon itself doesn't change no matter what weapon you use on LR Melee. CC wise, he's the highest CC LR in the game, being number 4 in the entire game as of recording this, of course. He's number 4, which is quite good. The only people above him are the UR bases, so of course Demon Melee, DK Melee, Chaos Arthur, Gotha, and I'm guessing Escanor's also going to be up there as well. So he's soon to be the 5th ICC character in the game. But unfortunately, on his release, he was very good. Now it's sort of he's not too good. Melee doesn't do very well against damage reduction. You know, we saw that it was quite insane when goddesses started to come back into meta again, and then Melee wasn't putting out anywhere near the amount of damage that you would expect. Stats wise, he has insanely good crit chance. Crit damage is a little on the lower side for the insane amount of crit chance he has, but it's understandable. No crit resistance, but of course there is a reason for that. And he has, for his job, he has very low crit defense. If you don't know, Melee wants to be crit for his passive. That's very low crit defense for a character that wants to be crit. Yes, his passive does increase it by 90%, but still then, when your crit resistance is that low, is it really worth it? Because if a character has Spike, you're still going to take an absurdly high amount of damage. Especially because he's red as well. You know, Demon King Melee's blue, Vittoria's blue, Albedo's blue. You know, if not your dark and light characters as well, which once again don't take type advantage, but also don't they take type advantage, so they deal type advantage, but they don't take type disadvantage. Sorry, so melee can't deal type advantage to any of the dark or light cast. He might be quite good against the new Escanor, because of course the new Escanor is green, but still, once again, he could be completely rolled quite easily. Unfortunately, his passive is quite short. I think it's actually the shortest out of any of the LRs. Basically, if he gets crit, all his skills get ranked up. He gets 30% crit defense, up to 90%, so he gets 90% extra crit defense, which is quite good. And then he gets attack every time a card actually ranks up. They have to rank up. If they don't rank up, you don't get the attack related stat boost. But if it ranks up, you get 10% attack related stat boost for 3 turns, up to 5 times. Which, by the way, you might get once a PvP game, twice a PvP game, and may you get a buff, right? Because people are smart. If they know how to play against melee, it's going to be completely he's not going to be that useful, unfortunately. But of course, if you are versing a Demon King melee, who is this guy's #1 threat, you'll basically lose an entire stack of that crit defense, and then you have 0% crit resistance. It means you're going to be crit every single time if the enemy has at least 100% crit chance, which every character nowadays has at least 100% crit chance. So it's not going to be too good for him. Yeah, he doesn't have high crit defense. He'll have no crit chance, lower defense. In today's meta, he doesn't survive. But the only good thing is that he can be used for. Technically, you can use him for Demon King if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it, but it is possible. And then he's also very good for OG Demon. He's like insane for OG Demon. I use him for OG Demon because his single targets do a lot of damage. It has Sever, plus he's got good crit chance, plus Sever skill, insanely high crit chance. He can just crit the boss, completely vaporize it. Relic, quite good. He did release with a Relic and an LR, which is sort of why I think every LR has released with a Relic, or they already have a Relic before they get an LR, apart from Galland, which is the reason why I sort of waited. But overall, he's not bad. He's got very good CC. Of course, mine's not even True Awakened. If I True Awakened him, it'd be 74k, and I'm missing 3 ult levels. The only problem with his ult, once again, is it scales with 3 different things. You have the buff, which gets increased every single time you get an ult level, as you can see here. It's got the secret technique effect, which once again, it ups, look, it goes up, which is insane. And it's actually got the multiplier of the attack as well, which goes up as well. That is the problem with this melee, is that dupes are really needed. The difference between a 1/6 and a 6/6, a 1/6 is 5% secret technique, a 6/6 is 80%. That's per skill. That's absurd. But of course, I think most of the LRs do have that sort of problem. Margaret is the other one that has the sort of, you need high ult level to deal lots of damage. But, they're old festivals. You do sort of expect to have them 6/6, but of course, the first time I pulled LR melee was from a free pick of a festival, an OG festival, and I picked melee because I didn't have him at the time. And that was a year before he became an LR. But overall, he's a cool character. I like his outfit. He might come back. I think he only really comes back to Meta and Chaos mode. But, maybe one day we'll see him sort of in the meta, maybe as a back unit. But Melee's quite prevalent in the meta at the moment because Melee's kind of busted. You got Demon King Melee. On to number 4 now. And now at number 4 we have LR Zeldris. So the reason this Zeldris is at number 4 is because he's just generally quite good. He has insanely high damage. His CC is the second lowest out of all the LRs, placing him at number 13 in the entire game. Characters like Vittoria and Gloss do have higher CC than him, but once again, they are extremely new characters. They're collaboration characters as well, so of course they always like to bump up the CC of those collaboration characters so they can stay meta prevalent for at least a little while longer than your standard character. Stats-wise, he has a little bit lower defense, and I think that is my problem. My key problem with him is his defense is quite low. Insanely high crit damage, like absurdly high. Good lifesteal, good pierce rate. He did drop with Gelder, so having high lifesteal is quite good because they pair quite well together. Stats-wise, yeah, it's okay. Once again, 13th high CC in the game, not too bad. This skill's okay. Once again, it does lower crit resistance, which is quite nice because Despair does want you to crit. Also, he's got like quite high crit chance. His passive does help him because it gives him like gives an extra 100% crit chance for 2 turns. He has once again quite a long passive, but it's quite good. He's got a relic which increases basic stats, which is quite nice. I just feel like maybe Red Zeldris would have made a little bit more sense, but I guess they sort of wanted to make a DPS, and because DPS-wise, he's quite good. His ultimate doesn't really add much apart from a debuff to all enemies, but I'm pretty sure he does extra damage to debuffed enemies anyway, so it's completely fine. His commandment, once again, his commandment is like worked into his kit, which is what I like, and his sort of the commandment and the kit work well, not like Galland. Galland's commandment and his kit don't work well together because it is a very niche criteria that needs to be filled for the commandment to be able to work, for then the passive to be able to work, where Zeldris is just really good damage. Like, I've seen people use him on the new Demonic Beast, and he seems quite good. Of course, the basic stat boost from his relic, which was initially used for the red one, and again could also be used for this blue LR variant as well, means that in PvE, you know, 30% basic stats for all allies is like maxing out LR does his passive. It's a lot of healing. Not a lot of healing, sorry. It's a lot of stats. But overall, once again, a really nice outfit. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have a weapon. His relic does not suit it at all, which is kind of sad. It, like, sticks out a lot. I do wish his relic sort of fit the outfit, but once again, the relic was made quite a long time ago, and this LR was probably, concepted, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, actually, when did LR Zelda even come out? This probably was, like, this concept was probably made for him, or the outfit or everything was probably, like, at the start of the year, and Zeldris came out after Gelder, which would have been, like, maybe mid to end of March, I think, Zeldris came out. But overall, he's got a cool kit, I like his design. My only real problem is he's so squishy. He is very squishy, and I feel like that is my only real critique, is that he's got low CC, which is, unfortunate, and he's very squishy. But apart from that, he's a good character, and I would highly recommend him. He's got a really nice outfit. I guess he's got some sort of uses. I've seen him in PvP before, and you still see him every now and again today, which is quite nice. It's not like, the other previous LRs, where you don't really see them in normal PvP very often, but Zeldris, I've seen, recently. You see him every now and again, and it's quite nice to see. Anyway, on to number 3. Number 3 is now Margaret. So Margaret was I think she was one of the first 4 LR. I think she was the 4th LR in the game, right? And she was already quite a good character at the time of her LR. She was, well, not meta, but she was usable at the time, which was quite nice. We'd also recently just got LR lows as well, so it was like 2 LR goddesses back to back. Margaret is quite good because she is the 6th ICC character in the game. But not only that, she has a very, very good substat list. That's insane. Good lifesteal, insane pierce rate, standard resistance, good crit chance, good crit damage. This is HP defense, by the way. Good crit resistance, good crit defense. Insanely high CC. She's just a generally very good character. She's got, her LR didn't really add much to her kit, but she didn't really need much added to her kit. But nowadays, she's still used for final boss. Yeah, that's right. She's used for final boss. You can use her for PvP. You see her on the Goddess team every now and again, but the Goddess team isn't very prevalent, but that is mainly because of the current meta. If Goddesses were to get a very good character, we could quite easily see Goddesses come back, and I believe Margaret would 100% be on that team, because Margaret provides a lot. She provides basic stats, crit chance and crit damage, but not only that, she provides this buff, which increases damage dealt, removes debuffs, decreases damage taken. It's a good buff. And also she lowers enemies' crit resistance, which of course, unless you're versing another Goddess team or a character that's stat lower immunity, is going to be quite good. Overall, she's a good character. CC's quite good. I'll run on with it. Let me quickly put attack crit on her as well. So you can see CC 68, basically 60. I didn't press the wrong button then by accident, totally. But overall, she's got good CC. She's a good character. She's an LR that okay. So with the upcoming banner with Escanor, you can't get her for free. You have to spend 180 diamonds, and you can get LR Margaret, like the LR variant of Margaret, or you can pick from LR Melly. I would 100% pick Margaret over Melly any day of the week. Of course, I do have Margaret 6'6", so of course if you have a character 6'6", maybe it's worth going for the other one. But LR Margaret, you can basically get it for free. Which is not for free, but for 180 diamonds is a steal, because you don't have to actually go through and get all the resources to LR the character, which is 69 SSR pendants. She's already LR'd straight away, which is absolutely lovely. And yeah, she can be True Awakening will put her nearly 75k CC if I perfected her gear. I think I would be able to reach her max CC, but overall, she's good LR. Outfit-wise, I don't actually like her LR outfit, which is that's the reason I don't run it. I run the seasonal one instead. If not, I would run this one. But the LR one, I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's okay. I just don't like how flashy it is. It just doesn't suit Margaret, in my opinion. But anyway, on to number 2. Number 2 is, of course, LR Escanor. Mainly because he is like this, PvE, PvP character that's actually quite good. Yeah, you know, he drops off in the meta now and again when humans sort of slowly fall off, but PvE, you can use him for birds, you can use him for dogs, you could technically even use him for deer if you wanted to, but not only that, you've got these event bosses. LR Escanor humans always seems to be the sort of team that's very good for it. You can use him on Belmouth. I've seen people also use him on Grey Demon as well. I don't know why you would, but I've seen people do it. Good DPS. Unfortunately, he is restricted to humans. CC wise, he is number 4 of the LRs, but number 8 just in the game. He's number 8 in the game. Out of the LRs, he's number 4, which isn't too bad. Skills wise, once again, he is restricted to humans, which is kind of irritating. But once again, the fact he got an LR, we'll have a look at his substats. They're all quite good. Like, crit defense, crit resistance are a little bit on the lower side, but of course he's a very old character, just release-wise, not including the LR. He's just a very old character. Even LR-wise, he's quite old. He was the second LR in the game. But with his relic increasing his attack by 50% of his defense, he can have quite high attack turn 1, even with attack crit, even with HP defense. He can have a lot of attack turn 1, which is quite nice. You know, he's a turn 1 DPS, even in PvP, you still see him, like, I still see him basically every day in PvP, which is quite nice. He's an old character, you know, he definitely outlived Melly's lifespan, like LR Melly sort of didn't really have much of a lifespan in PvP, but this Escanor sort of survived. I think that's because of humans. Humans recently have really, like, gotten so much support. You had Yuri, you then had Arthur, you then had Northme getting his his buff, which is insane. Now you've got, of course, the new Escanor coming out as well. You know, his Escanor will probably be replaced soon, but overall, PvE wise and just general usage, he's just such a good character. His insane damage is it's absurd how hard he can hit. I actually use him for Demon King as well, because yes, when he does reach max ult gauge, he does remove all the buffs off him, but his ultimate has an absurdly high multiplier. It's the highest multiplier in the entire game, being a 1.4k, and it ignores 100% of the enemy's crit resistance, which means it's gonna crit. Especially when he's got a high crit chance, a very high crit damage. This is with HP defense. Let me quickly show him off with attack crit. His relic, looks okay. And his LR outfit is just... So this is the UR one, this is the LR one. It's like not much of a change. That's the reason why I also don't run it. I just run the final boss one, because I actually really like the final boss outfit. And the curtain is also pretty cool. I just run the crown because... yeah. Relic doesn't really suit the LR outfit. I don't think it really suits any other outfit apart from the red UR one, which is this one. I think this is the only one it really suits in my opinion. But overall, he's a good character. And then of course, at number 1, that does put LR Liz. So, of course, LR Liz, she is like, it's pretty standard she was going to be number 1, okay? She is this broken PvE character. She's on, you know, Nidhogg. You can technically use her for a bird. You could technically also use her for dogs. She's using the new demonic beast. She's used for PvE event bosses if you need to. You're talking about final bosses, knighthood bosses. She is this broken character with insane healing, insane passive healing, insane ult rush, a really strong defense related stat boost, level 1 30%. Not only that, but her relic increases all allies' HP related stats by 15%. Means, I know this is going to be a shock, but you see her in PvP a lot because of her relic. You know, people stick her in the back. They stick her in the back for humans because, of course, Arthur, HP based. You see him on the back. You see her on the back for demons because, of course, Gelda, HP based. The reason I say Arthur is HP based is because that's where most of his damage comes from. Yes, he is technically an attack scaler, but his passive, which basically gives him he deals 25% of his HP as damage. That's the reason why he's that's the reason why he's quite a good DPS. But overall, this is that LR outfit. I love it. It's actually one of my favorite in the game. So if we go to... This is her UR one of the same outfit, I'm pretty sure. I think this is it. And then you have this one. This list was given out for free once, one New Year, with the release of Traitor Melly. She was given out for free, and she's never been free since. And I'm glad I got a copy of her when I did, because... you know, she's quite good. Substats wise, of course, they're not going to be the highest. She does have the lowest crit chance of all the LRs. Sorry, no, she has the second lowest. Glox has the lowest, which is completely fine. She has good crit resistance and good crit defense, but of course, because she's got so much, you know, 30% defense rate stat boost, you know, the basic stat boost from her passive, she has like a very... She's a very good passive. She has like a split passive. So in PvE, it's got this part, but then in all game modes, which is something that we've never actually seen like in a passive, it's say in all game modes, allies recovery increased by 20% whenever the hero heals an ally. So she's got insane healing. She's just a very overall good character, and she is like the LR that whenever LRs are technically given out for free, or if there's like a big banner, Dora-chan, who is the biggest JP YouTuber, always says in the streams about LR Liz, because LR Liz is like this one character, which I guess they don't want everyone to have, because it'll guess make all early game PvE content really easy, and they want it to be sort of harder. Because she's really only used for like end game PvE content. Technically, you could use her for early game, but it would just be like you'd just be abusing everything at that point. But overall, good character, and 100% like if you have her, she's the first LR I'd 100% recommend like investing into. I have all her outfits maxed, all her weapons maxed. This one is a Hawk Pass one, so you know you might have to wait for it to come back. They do eventually come back for like diamonds, but so you can buy that if you want to as well. And of course, I have all headgears as well. Because she is a good LR. CC wise, she is the lowest LR in terms of CC, but she is the 14th highest CC character in the game, which is quite good. Of course, once again, her ultimate does insanely scale off of the buff from her ultimate insanely scales off the ult level. So at 160 it's only 5% attack related stat boost, but at 6.6 it's 30% attack related stat boost, which is absurd. But overall, like, Liz is such a good character. I just wish she was more obtainable. For dupes-wise, okay, that person's name. But yeah, I would just recommend Liz over anyone. She's got an insane, like, the free LR coming up, Margaret. You should, like, it's not free, sorry, but the 180 LR, Diamond LR, you want to pick Margaret. And if Liz is on there, I'd say you'd want to pick Liz. But Liz, I think Liz is on the banner. I think in the upcoming festival, she's also on this banner as well, which is quite nice. Of course, she was a seasonal. That is the reason why she's so like hard to get a hold of. Like, she's not on many banners. It's because she was a seasonal. She was a New Year seasonal. She came out with the green Demon Melee and the blue Jericho. If I scroll down, I can find blue Jericho. So yeah, new legend, which is a seasonal, which was New Year, and then green Demon Melee. Once again, new legend. She came out with them. It was like a 3-man banner, which is a few. I don't think they've done many normal 3-man banners that weren't festivals. But yeah, that's my ranking of the LRs. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next one. Goodbye.